Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about common ways that a spouse sabotages their partner during the green card process. And if you're out there and you're in this unfortunate situation, stick around all the way until the end because I'm going to share with you some tips on how to overcome and get your green card despite the sabotage. For those of you who are new to me, welcome to this video. Welcome to my channel. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients all over the world on complex immigration matters. Reach out to us at McBeanLaw.com or at 516-866-3900 to request an appointment with one of our attorneys. Also, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to McBean Immigration TV, subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and also subscribe to our firm's newsletter. Each week we send out terrific newsletters with Q&As, immigration news, and some other good news topics. So subscribe. You could go to McBeanLaw.com to subscribe to our free newsletter. So let's talk about this issue, guys. And I'm building on the information that I've shared with you in my other video, my last video, called 6 Ways to Get Green Card After Marriage Case Fails. I'm going to link to it right here so that you could go watch that if you have not yet seen it. And also on Facebook, I'm doing Facebook Lives these days, and I'm sharing some great content around red flags during the marriage green card process and how to overcome despite the red flags that are whether in your relationship with your spouse or with the case generally. So follow me on Facebook so that you don't miss out on the free live content that I'm sharing there as well. Now, let's talk about the common scenarios that folks see in this situation. And if you see any of these things happening with your case, do not sit on it. Immediately consult with an immigration lawyer. Reach out to us to talk about what you're seeing and why this is a problem and how it may impact your case. Okay, so do not sit on any of these issues. Firstly, the common sabotage that folks go through is when an interview notice comes to the home, the spouse, all of a sudden, the petitioner's spouse becomes angry, distant, begins to mistreat you because he or she doesn't want to go on the interview. They're refusing to go on the interview, and it's like your back is against the wall now because your interview's coming up and your spouse is acting up. He doesn't want to go on the interview. So that is a form of sabotage. The second way that a spouse sabotages his or her partner is by refusing to give evidence. It's, like particularly in the very beginning of the process when you're preparing your case to be filed and you need certain key evidence for the filing. The spouse refuses to give you his or her credentials, like his or her tax papers, or maybe a naturalization certificate or something like that. They just refuse. They say things like, "Well, I can't find it," or I don't know where it is, or I don't know if I trust the lawyer or whoever is doing the filing. I don't know if I should give this or not. They just really put up a fight, okay, and refuse to give you evidence. The third way that they can sabotage you is by not cooperating with your lawyer, right? Not returning the lawyer's calls, not returning emails, not turning over documents to the lawyer, not meeting with the lawyer to do interviews or other things, go over the case, refusing to meet with the lawyer to sign off on the paperwork. That's a huge issue, huge flag. The fourth way that they sabotage is by refusing to help you if you were to get a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny. If you get any one of those types of responses from the government. Certainly the petitioner spouse needs to be part of the response process in most cases. And you need that person to cooperate to respond appropriately to an RFE or an OID. And so that's a huge form of sabotage right there. The other way that they can sabotage you, it comes much later in the process, and this is at an interview, right? At the interview, they all of a sudden pretend as if they cannot remember key details about your life together and about your background, things that they obviously know, and all of a sudden they're behaving as if they cannot remember, right? Or they provide, and this is the other form of sabotage, which can be extremely damaging to your case, is if they provide the immigration officer with inconsistent information. You know, they know that you're going to say one thing and they say the complete opposite, and they're lying in most cases, and it's intentional, and they are trying to sabotage you so that your case can be denied. And guys, I'm sharing all of these sabotage strategies with you based on what we've seen. You know, folks come to us with their problems in the marriage. These are the common things that we see and hear about each week when we consult with folks. So this does happen, unfortunately. And then the other way that they could sabotage you is if they write a bad letter to immigration about you or about your marriage, or they call and go on the record and say, she only married me for the papers, and, you know, I had to pay her, and they just make things up and submit that letter or make that phone call to immigration, or even go down to their office and say these things about your marriage in an attempt to sabotage you. And certainly that is the most damaging thing that they can do. Lie to immigration about the marriage and accuse you of being part of marriage fraud. So now that we've talked about those common scenarios, right? How do you move forward? How do you get your green card, right? And so again, refer back to that video I did just recently about the 6 ways to get your green card despite the fact that the marriage has failed. Refer to that video, and then I'm going to share some new things in this video as well. But the first thing you need to do, if you notice any one of these things happening in your relationship, you need to keep track of everything. Keep track of everything. Keep track of every text message, emails, voicemails. Do not delete anything. Good messages, bad messages, keep all of them, because good messages obviously shows, or text messages obviously shows that you guys were in a real relationship. You genuinely cared about each other, and you weren't in this for the papers only, which is marriage fraud, obviously, and that is illegal, and you should not be part of that. But sometimes the spouse makes up these, gives the appearance that fraud was in your relationship. And again, to sabotage you. So keep track of everything. Keep your emails, keep your voicemails, and don't delete anything. Also, you want to make sure that you secure your documents, right, regarding your genuine marriage. Don't just, leave the home and take only your clothes with you. Take some papers with you, okay? If you have to leave the home, if you make the decision that you're leaving, or you've got to get away, don't just take your clothes, right? Make sure you have some mail, have some utility bills, have records, telephone bills, have something, bank statements, naturalization, just whatever you submitted to the government in that first packet, in your packet, during the filing, have a copy of everything, the I-130, the naturalization certificate, the if there is one, or the birth certificate, the bills, the tax returns. Keep everything that was initially submitted to the government, because sometimes later on down the road, if you have to do a domestic violence case, if you're eligible for it, you're going to need to draw back and go back, I should say, to some of the evidence that you had submitted previously to prove some things related to your marriage. So secure your documents, secure the records that you have at home. The other thing that you can do, obviously, is in an environment like this, when your spouse is trying to sabotage you, it might also be coupled with some other verbal abuse or threatening behavior, or even pushing, shoving, hitting, gaslighting, narcissistic behavior, controlling behavior by your spouse, angry, your spouse is easily angered, drinks a lot. If he or she has a substance abuse problem, that problem can lead to him or her abusing you in many different ways. So if you're going through something like that in your marriage, know that you have an option to obtain your 10-year green card on your own by filing what's called VAWA, the VAWA application process, Violence Against Women Act. And men, you are eligible for VAWA as well, and we do those cases with men all the time. Now, the other option that I mentioned in my other video is the U visa. If you also have if there is a criminal issue that you've been a victim of a crime, I should say, and you worked with the police on it, you reported it, then get your case looked at to see if you might be eligible for the crime victims visa. And guys, like I said, don't wait too long. Don't sit on these issues. If you see these sabotage happening in your marriage, be sure to address them. Address it right away, I should say. Speak with a lawyer. Don't sit on it, because sometimes these situations can only become worse if they are not addressed early on. So just keep the faith and know that it is possible for some people to obtain their green card despite the abuse that they are suffering or sabotage that they're going through in their marriage. Reach out to us at McBean Law to have that kind of discussion privately, and so that we could see how we might be able to assist you. Share this video with other people. Thanks so much for being with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.